There's this quiet, invisible force that lives inside each of us. It's something that doesn't really use words, but it shapes pretty much everything: how we connect with people, how we react to things, and most importantly, how we keep ourselves safe every single day.
I mean, really think about it. Have you ever been mid-conversation and just felt this physical urge to pull back, to create a little space, even when nothing is obviously wrong? It's a feeling that comes from your body, and your brain is left scrambling to figure out why.
Or maybe it's the flip side of that. You're with someone you absolutely trust, someone you love, and poof, you just go quiet. You feel yourself shutting down, the words just aren't there, and this strange numbness kind of takes over. And of course, there are those moments, right? That flash of defensiveness, that sharp reply that just jumps out of your mouth before you can even stop it. And then you're left standing there thinking, whoa, where on earth did that come from? This is the exact puzzle we're going to piece together today.
This right here, this quote, gets to the absolute heart of it. We tend to think of trauma as an event, right? A story from the past. But what if it's less about the story and more about what your body physically learned to do to get through it? It's a survival strategy that got encoded in you. Okay, so let's get into the mechanics of this. Your nervous system, deep down, really only has one prime directive: keep you alive and safe. And to do that, it's constantly scanning your world, looking for patterns, for anything that feels familiar to something from the past that was, well, threatening. And this is the key. When your nervous system picks up on a cue, it could be anything: a certain tone of voice, the way someone looks at you, even a sudden silence. If that cue even vaguely resembles a past threat, your body doesn't wait around for your brain to think it through. It just reacts, as if the past is literally happening all over again.
So, what do these protective patterns actually look like in the real world? You might be surprised. They're not always these huge, dramatic explosions. A lot of the time, they're super common, everyday behaviors that we might not even connect to a trauma response at all.
Let's just define this so we're all on the same page. A trauma pattern is simply an automatic nervous system response. The key words there are automatic and cue. It's not a choice. It's a reflex, like pulling your hand from a hot stove, that gets triggered by something in your environment. Now, take a look at this list. Does any of this ring a bell? That need to pull away physically? Or maybe over-explaining yourself when you feel misunderstood? Or what about trying to fix everything for everyone? Or rushing in to make peace, even when it's not your job? These are all brilliant ways the body tries to find safety, using an old map.
Okay, I really want you to hear this next part because it's probably the most important thing we'll talk about. These patterns, they are not character flaws. They are not weaknesses. They are not something you need to be ashamed of or try to crush.
Exactly. Every single one of those reactions we just listed was, at some point, a brilliant and highly intelligent strategy. It was a creative solution your body came up with to help you navigate a situation that felt completely overwhelming. Your body learned what worked, and it remembered. And this is why it feels so impossible to just talk yourself out of it in the moment. It's like a race between your body's alarm system and your logical brain. And let me tell you, the body's alarm system gets a massive head start every single time. Protection is always faster than thought. So, if we can't outthink it, what do we do? Well, the path forward is actually incredibly gentle. It's not about fighting or forcing anything. It's simply about bringing a little bit of curious, non-judgmental awareness to what's happening on the inside.
So here's a little practice you can try later. Think back to a recent, maybe even a small, moment where you felt that internal switch flip. Now, forget the story of what happened. Instead, can you find the very first physical sensation? Was it a clench in your stomach? A tightness in your throat? Then just ask yourself, what did my body actually do first? And here's the hardest part. Just notice it. Don't try to fix it or change it. Just notice.
And here's why that simple practice is so powerful. That raw physical sensation, the heat, the tightness, the urge to move, it happens before our mind cooks up a story about it. So by tuning into that physical feeling first, we're actually getting in there before the story takes over. When you start doing this even a little bit, something amazing begins to shift. You start moving from reacting based on yesterday's danger to actually responding to what's happening today. You're basically giving your body's internal operating system a much-needed software update. Look at this super common example. A person you're talking to just goes quiet. Now, the silence itself is totally neutral, right? But for one person, that silence might land in the body and feel like abandonment. For another, it might feel like unspoken anger. For a third, it could feel like danger. The event is the same. The body's interpretation, based on its memory archives, is what creates the entire experience.
So that simple act of just noticing, there's a tightness in my chest, sends a brand new message to your nervous system. That awareness is like an anchor to the present moment. It's a nonverbal way of telling your body, hey, I know this feels familiar, but you're safe. This is now, not then.
And that, right there, is the difference between a reaction and a response. A reaction is the automatic replay of the past. It's the old tape running. But a response? That's conscious. It's born in that tiny little gap you create with your awareness. And that gap? Well, that's where freedom lives. I just love this. It holds both things as true. You can have gratitude for those old patterns. You can look back and say, wow, thank you. You really protected me when I needed it. And at the very same time, you can use your awareness now to gently set yourself free when you're ready. It's not about erasing your history. It's about not being run by it anymore.
So I'll leave you with this invitation. The next time you feel that quick, automatic reaction starting to rise up, instead of getting mad at it, just get curious. Can you ask yourself, what is the very first sensation I feel in my body? Because that simple question, that simple act of noticing, it's not a small thing. It might just be everything.